240 kilos 5x5, and I am in bits today after this. But let's talk through this. We haven't done a squat update in a while, so I've just been posting the raw footage, and I did 240 kilos 5x5 last night. I didn't actually plan to do this. What I'd planned to do with this video was talk to you guys about what to do when you get sick, because I was sick last week and obviously managed to come back and hit this 10 kilo PB 5x5 at 240. Now, this is something that I have not been this fatigued in a long time with training. So that's the first set there. Let's have a look at the second set. So I didn't even bring the camera home because I didn't plan on videoing this, because I didn't think I was doing 245 by 5. My goal was to simply come in and hit 240 for one top set of 5. So I hadn't hit that since I'd been sick last week. So 3 rules to hit when you're sick, or 3 rules to do when you are sick. First of all, don't train when you're sick. Just take some days off when you're sick. Take as many as needed. Here's a third set. Take as many days off as you need when you are sick. The best thing you can do is give yourself a chance to recover. There is no productive training to be done when you're sick. The only time it might be a viable option is you have the Olympics in 2 days' time, or you have the heavyweight final of the world and you need to train a little bit. For everyone else, in every other situation, just take the days off. Second thing to do is load appropriately when you come back. So last week I didn't get up over 220 kilos. I just made sure that I was hitting progressively heavier sets. So I started off the first day back with 170. Then I was hitting some 200s for 5s. Then I hit 220 for 5s. And then we saw that 220 kilos for a set of 10. Now, I was hitting that 220 kilos for a set of 10 for a good reason. So when I talk about loading appropriately, I wanted to apply a new stimulus. So I could have gone a little bit heavier for that 240 for a set of 5. But because I missed a couple of sessions where I probably would have been heavier, I wanted to apply a stimulus that would have a similar effect with heavy weights, but in a different fashion. So I hit that 220 kilos for 10, which is the heaviest set of 10 I've done in a while. Now, for sure, it did fatigue me, but it was well warranted because it just bumped up that intensity of those sessions and to hopefully recuperate a little bit of the momentum I lost. And judging by this, it did. Judging by how I feel after this, it really did. So 240 kilos for a set of 5. Now what happened was the day after, or the evening after I hit the 280 by 3, I was messed up. So I was like heart palpitations almost. I was super fatigued. I went out hunting that evening and I was like, whoo, I do not feel great. Transpired, and I was obviously getting a little bit sick. The sickness never really peaked thanks to some useful interventions from Alex Kiekel, who is coaching me at the moment. I used some zinc lozenges, which is quite interesting. I'd never used those before, and they definitely seem to hold it at bay. Now, the third thing you need to do, or the important third thing when you get sick with training, is don't freak out. It's not an all or nothing. There's no point where you're like, man, it's ruined. And I'll give you personal example of this from this training block. Is obviously I've been training for this technically for years, but this training block started at last March, and obviously I'm very, very close to the end to hitting a major goal. And at no point when I was sick and not training when I wanted or needed to be training, or when I was barely squatting the 200s when they felt pretty poor, I just was like, cool, this will come back. Just have a little bit of patience. And from that, if you don't have a coach or you don't have the Seek Strength app telling you what to do because you adjust the load accordingly by putting it in, you make those decisions. You make better, more rational decisions. I knew it would come back. I knew I was barely even sick enough that it didn't really peak. I didn't miss any days of work. I didn't miss more than 2 training sessions in a row, which didn't matter all that much. I knew that if I just paced myself out a little bit, I paced those sessions, incrementally increased the load, and then without increasing the load, I increased the volume in that scenario. So when we came back, I knew that I would be able to then hit up this 240 for at least one set of 5. But I got through the first set of 5. I was like, could go heavier. I don't know, would it be great at 250 plus? So I hit another set at 240. We ended up at 3 sets done. If you're doing 3 sets, you might as well do 4 sets. So that would have been a volume PB. And listen, nobody does 4x5. Everybody does 5x5. So big PB and 240. So I knew I'd hit that in time. I knew I was probably capable of that when I hit the 260 by 5. I figured this is probably coming. Now, one of the things I also did earlier this week is, because I still need to be hitting those singles approximately once a week, and I didn't hit them after that 280 by 3, I didn't hit them the 7 days later like I normally would. The start of this week, I hit 270 for 10, and I did get that video on the main camera on the big boy lens, so it's a little bit better quality. So let's check that out. I hope you're enjoying the update and the squats, and hopefully we'll see some 290 plus numbers soon. You'll see that 2 whatever it is kilos on the YouTube title, and hopefully so just some raw footage of squats. So remember, load management accordingly. Don't train when you're sick, and don't freak out. You'll be okay. You'll get back to it. Most of the time, it's not that serious, and you'll be all right. And if it is that serious, forget about training and fix yourself, because that is more important. The health is more important for that, for sure. So let's watch that 270, and I hope you enjoyed this training vlog.